All right, good evening, everyone. It is Tuesday, October 18th, 2022, and it's 5 p.m. And you are at a Wausau Plan Commission meeting. Welcome, everyone. The first item we have on our agenda is to approve the minutes from the September 20th, 2022 meeting. I would entertain a motion. I have a motion by Bolkin and a second by Herbst. Any discussion? Not seeing any. All of those in favor of approving the minutes from the September 20th, 2022 meeting can signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, that passes unanimously. Next up is our first public hearing of the evening, discussion and possible action on rezoning 6801 Statine Drive from a single-family residential 2 zoning district to a medium industrial zoning district. I don't know if staff wants to give a quick spiel before we open up the public hearing.
Sure.
All right.
I'll just bring up a map here real quick. All right, so this property is off of Statine Drive, out near the business campus, basically just adjacent to it. It's currently just a farm field, and it is zoned single family, but the petition is for medium industrial zoning, which exists just to the west of the proposed rezoning. And yeah, I guess, with that zoning district, medium industrial in our zoning code does say it is compatible with residential zoning. And, it can be seen as an extension of the business campus that already exists there. So I believe the property owner is here tonight, if you care to
Sure.
ask any questions of him. Otherwise, staff does recommend approval.
Okay, I guess we'll get our say in a little bit, but if there's anybody here for the public hearing, you're welcome to approach the podium and let us know what you think. Okay. Yes, absolutely. Just give your name and address for the record.
My name is Jim Schaefer. I own the 6205 Statine Drive. I own the property, have since 1994. And I'm in favor of this rezone.
Perfect.
I looked at making residential, but Statine School is overcrowded now. They're adding on to it. There's a residential unit, about 35 homes going about a quarter mile to the west, so I think it's compatible with what is there now. So, and I do live right next to it, and I don't have a problem, so.
Great. Thank you. If there's anyone else who would like to speak about the rezone at 6801 Statine Drive, you're welcome to approach the podium. All right, I'm going to ask for the last time if there's anybody here who would like to discuss the rezone from single-family residential to medium industrial zoning district at 6801 Statine Drive. Now's your shot. All right, I am declaring this public hearing closed. Thank you. Now it's our turn on this commission. Item number 3 is discussion and possible action on rezoning 6801 Statine Drive from a single-family residential zoning district to a medium industrial zoning district. Is there anybody that would like to offer a motion or? All right, I have a motion from Alder Herbst, I'm assuming to approve the rezone, and a second from Commissioner Bolkin. Is there any discussion or any questions from this body? I'm not seeing anybody with any questions, so I guess it's time for us to vote. So all of those in favor in rezoning 6801 Statine Drive from a single-family residential zoning district to a medium industrial zoning district can signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, that passes unanimously, and it looks like it's going to council on November 9th. Thank you. All righty, next up, we have another public hearing. This is a discussion on approving a conditional use at 1102 Grand Avenue to allow for a residential recreational lakefront use for a 16 by 12 terrace area in a neighborhood mixed-use zoning district. Would you like to give us a little spiel on this, Mr. Lenz? Thank you.
Thanks. Excuse me. So, yes, as was stated, this is in the, well, I guess the reason it's here is because it's within 50 feet of the ordinary high water mark of the Wisconsin River, and as such, that is part of our river edge overlay zoning district. So anything within 50 feet of the river is considered, part of this overlay district. So, and because it is, that requires structures that are built in that zone to have a conditional use permit through Plan Commission. So the plans are in the packet showing just a terrace area, concrete and wood. And yeah, I guess again, the process here is to hold a public hearing for the conditional use. Pardon me. And we'll come back next month with a formal vote on it. But this, I guess, is the first step to hold a public hearing.
Okay. So with that, we'll let the public have their say. If there's anybody here who would like to have a say on this conditional use at 1102 Grand Avenue to allow for residential, recreational, lakefront use, you can approach the podium. Yes. If you give your name and address for the record, love to hear from you.
Todd Butler, I'm the owner at 1102 Grand Avenue,
Yes.
and we purchased the property about a year and a half ago, and we're in the process of developing the shorefront so we can use it residentially. And we did build a stairway down to the lake, and just the slope is very steep and long. It's about from the landing on top down to the water, it's about 80 feet. So the stairway was necessary to gain access to the water. We have a dock down there and a boat lift. And it's just, the shoreline is very steep along the shoreline as well. So we're trying to make some small improvements near the shoreline, kind of similar to what there are in other areas, you know, more in Rib Mountain where there's a lot of steep slopes. I don't think they have the same process for making these type of improvements, but we'd like to add an area near the shore where we can have a few chairs, maybe a bonfire pit, that kind of thing, just for our own residential use. And we do plan to put that terrace area above the 100-year floodplain so that under maybe springs, the water elevation in the spring, we haven't seen it get up to that height here lately, but up to a height where if the water does come up, it doesn't impact the improved area we'd put in.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much. If there's any questions, this body has the next item to ask questions, if you're okay answering some, if they
Sure.
have any. Thank you. If there's anybody else here who would like to discuss the conditional use at 1102 Grand Avenue, you are welcome to approach. You'll get your say on the next item. For now, it's the public hearing.
Yep.
I don't see a lot of people here, but so it might be pretty quick here. So I guess that's technically the second time I'll ask. So third time, last time, if there's anybody here who would like to discuss the conditional use at 1102 Grand Avenue to allow for a residential, recreational, lakefront use for a 16 by 12 terrace area in a neighborhood mixed-use zoning district, you may approach the podium. All right, I am declaring this public hearing closed. Now it's our turn here. We're on item number 5, discussion on approving a conditional use at 1102 Grand Avenue to allow for a residential, recreational, lakefront use for a 16 by 12 terrace area in a neighborhood mixed-use zoning district. Maybe before we discuss, I could entertain a motion, if anybody has one. Oh, nope, just kidding. That's next month. I'm ahead of myself. Alder Herbst, I saw your hand up.
Thank you, Mayor. A couple of things looking at the drawing. First of all, the stairway scares the heck out of me just looking at those steps going down. I would think or would be concerned to the fact that there aren't any railings there. I'm hoping that they would be putting railings on each side of those steps. And then when they go down, I'm not sure about the deck, but it would be the same thing with the deck area. I would think that they would have railings around the deck for anyone who may be sitting out there. And then I guess I question what riprap is. I know it's probably something to keep everything in place so that it doesn't erode, but that was something I was not aware of what riprap is.
It's rock.
Thank you. I figured that, but I wasn't sure.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Mr. Bolkin.
Question on the construction of the deck area. Is that going to be anchored down in some way? Because when the water starts moving through there, along with your floating dock, I've been through that section before, and I was wondering how that would affect it.
And to answer the first question first, The stairway picture was just taken at that part in the process where we were just finishing up the actual stairway, but we will be adding railings to the stairway. And same with the terrace area. If per code we would need railings, I would put railings on the terrace area too. And I'm sorry, what was the second question?
I was asking about anchoring down the deck and terrace area,
Yeah.
along with the floating dock. Is that anchored somehow? I mean, when water starts moving through there, it moves pretty fast.
The floating dock is restrained to the bank with cables, and the entire stairway is restrained. It's all restrained to a concrete anchor up at the top of the slope, and then the terrace, anything that can be restrained will be restrained in the terrace area to that same structure, so that everything's tied together, so it couldn't just go floating down the stream.
Okay, thanks.
Anyone else with any questions or comments? Okay, I guess not. I guess we'll see you next month. Thank you very much. Alrighty. We are now on to item number 6, discussion and possible action on approving a dual post sign at 815 Grand Avenue. Mr. Hebert, I believe that's you.
Thank you. Jesse Penrose has applied for a dual post sign permit for 815 Grand Avenue. This is the old Wausau floral shop. It's pretty much a vacant parcel other than that small building in the front. Currently, there's a couple of used car sales uses there. And Jesse's looking to have a sign for his trailer sales. In the packet, you can see where the sign's proposed. I think it's actually going to have to be, and according to our ordinance, it's going to have to be 15 feet back from the sidewalk, or face of the curb on the sidewalk. So it's going to be about 6, 7, 8 feet into the site, so there should be plenty of room for people that use the sidewalk, would not be interfered with. And then the third page just shows his sign proposal.
All right. Any questions? Mr. Bulkin?
Is the building going to be used for the business?
No, I don't believe so.
Oh. It's too bad because that building's looking pretty sad. Both of them.
Yeah.
Alder Herbst?
I have a question.
Sure.
Has he purchased this property, or is just going to be leasing it to have his vehicles on there and this big sign? I mean, has this property been sold to him?
No, I don't believe so. I don't know what the terms of their lease are.
Okay. I sure would like more information on that.
I don't know if he's here. Is Jesse here? Okay.
Okay. Mr. Linden?
I think one of the things is the city maintains the sidewalks along Grand Avenue, so just from a maintenance standpoint, snow storage and stuff, I'd like to see that about 10 feet back from the back of sidewalk. At a minimum, we stack snow, and just to make sure it stays open for pedestrians. The tighter it gets to the sidewalk, the more difficult it becomes, more work for us. So if this does pass tonight or moves forward, I'd like to see that.
I should also state that I did discuss with Jesse when he first proposed this to put it on the building, but the owner did not want the sign on the building. So we looked at different options, and this was the freestanding sign that we were looking at.
Yes, Mr. Borgman?
I'm assuming from the description, it's going to be rather permanent? It's going to be like anchored down and
Yep.
it's going to stay there permanent? But this is a renter of the property, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
And if the tenant ever left, just like any other business, we could order the sign removed.
Okay, all right. Answered the question before I asked. All right.
Mind readers here. Anyone else with any questions, comments, a motion maybe? Do we want more information before we make a decision? Is that, or do we just not like it?
I guess from my standpoint, I would not want the sign here, you know, overall, so I would not be in favor of this.
I mean, it can die for lack of a motion, I suppose.
Do you need a motion to deny it? Would that be cleaner?
to have a motion and then
Okay.
vote it up or down.
I'll make a motion that the request be denied.
Do you want that in the positive
Make
term?
it in a,
Okay, so yeah, generally,
So, yes, apparently the city rules, you know, that the tradition is that we make a motion in a positive. So if we vote to approve it, and then people can vote yay or nay.
Okay.
so voting, oh,
I'll make a motion that it be approved.
All right, I have a motion. Is there anyone who wants to second this? I have a second by Watson. Any discussion here? Okay, all of those in favor of approving this sign can signify by saying aye. All those opposed? Nay.
No.
Nay, okay. Unanimous no, so there will be no sign. All right, thank you very much. Next up, we have item number 7, and that is discussion and possible action on amending the official city map for the realignment of the 28th Avenue from Hilltop Avenue to West Wausau Avenue. I don't know who wants to take that as. Sure, Mr. Lindman.
Brad, you can fill in if I miss anything. Yeah, this has been a discussion because the official city map, which we have for proposed corridors and future roads, it usually allocates potential property for future right-of-way. And so, as you can see on the map, this corridor, which the history of it is that the county, back in the early 2000s, was proposing to extend County R to the north. Reconnect up past Wausau Avenue and head north into the village of Maine. So late in the last year, the county has since stepped back from that, and they're no longer going to do that. The village of Maine, now going north, is also not interested in pursuing this route or this reroute of this road to the north. And so what the city would like to do with this is we would like to reduce the amount of property in the official city map, which will unencumber some of the private property that this does. So, and this really came forward first from the Achieve Center because they wanted to expand their building on the corner of Madonna and 28th Avenue. And so these areas in gray are the areas that are actually being removed from the official city map. But it doesn't mean that the right-of-way is going away. It just means that that area is being, so that the street will be there. But staff feels like we have plenty of remaining property in right-of-way to put through a 2-lane road on any improvements that we need. So we were just looking to unencumber some of these private properties by doing this at this point. We don't have right now any formal plans to do anything, but CISM has asked us to prepare some options and bring them forward for consideration. So.
Okay. Any questions? Maybe a motion?
Make a motion?
All right, I have a motion to approve the amendment to the official city map for realignment of the 28th Avenue from Hilltop Avenue to West Wausau Avenue. Do I have a second? Second by Borneman. Are any comments, questions? Yes, Ms.
Thank
Herbst.
you, Mayor. I really don't quite understand this when you're saying that you will take the area that's in gray out of the city map. Why
Yeah.
would you be doing that? There are residents that are on the west side of 28th Avenue,
That's correct, yeah.
okay?
So like when you look at the official city map, on the corner of Madonna and 28th, for example, where
Right.
the gray area.
Yep.
It extends to the left onto private property.
Okay,
That area we're removing, and then because we already have right-of-way along 28th Avenue, there's no reason for it to be on the official city map. So we will still retain that right-of-way that's already been dedicated to the roadway.
Okay, then my next question is, will the city be continuing to plow North 28th Avenue to West Wausau?
Yes, so that will still remain a road. It will
Okay.
still be a fully functional road.
Do they feel that at any given point that they may go and extend to 4 lanes going up to West Wausau Avenue?
No, the traffic counts don't warrant it, and so we do not, we do not feel that that's an option to go to a 4-lane road, that 2-lane is going to be more than adequate.
It is a very busy road. I
Yep.
live out in that area, and there is a lot of traffic there, and I don't know who's going to be responsible for fixing 28th Avenue there, but that road is in tough shape.
It
And I
is.
know we have a problem because there's springs there, and there's always water off of, I think it is Maple Hill or Madonna, one of those that we always have to deal with. But I had the opportunity to have a ride on the snowplow a few years ago. And I know
Not a
that
lot of
one
shocks there.
that one of the gentlemen, well, that was a fun experience. One of the gentlemen
Chiropractor.
tried to go up to 28th Avenue, and he couldn't. I mean, there was no way. And the gentleman that I was riding with in the plow then went around and then came down 28th Avenue because there was just no way. But I will tell you, the day that I had the opportunity to be in the snowplow, I learned a lot. I learned that I didn't realize they knew what the temperature of the roads were. I realized how big those blades are when out there.
Yeah.
So I would highly recommend, if anybody has never had a chance to be on the snowplow, I'll tell you, it's worth every moment. You learn so much. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
You could-
Welcome. Maybe get a CDL, join us.
Yeah, all
We're
right.
hiring. Okay. So just for clarification, what we're doing here is we're not changing our status on how we treat the road currently. We're just saying, hey, private property owners, you can have access to your property now. We're not going to plan on building.
That's correct. The reason, like, the rest of the areas in red that are off of existing road right-of-way, those are already dedicated right-of-way, but we're leaving those in the official city map at this point until the city council decides on how they want to approach managing and fixing this area and this road. Don, I would agree. It's in rough shape.
I will tell you, I got some feedback maybe last year from an owner of a nonprofit up there, and they were planning to do a big capital campaign to improve their space, and then they realized that they couldn't because of this map. And so I think part of it spurred that, and they were asking us, what are the plans? We can't really build. We can't decide what we should do. How do we know what our future holds? So this will give a little bit of stability for those folks up there who want to improve their properties. Did I have a motion already? Or I do. So any other questions or comments? Otherwise, all of those in favor of approving the amendment to the official city map for the realignment of 28th Avenue from Hilltop Avenue to West Wausau Avenue can signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, it looks like that goes to council on October 25th. Thank you very much. Item number 8, our next meeting date is November 15th. And I guess the last item on here, I will entertain a motion to adjourn. Unless you all want to stay here tonight. I have a motion by Watson and a second by Herbst. All in favor can signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.